Hello, good evening, and welcome back. With Christmas around the corner and COVID restrictions still in place, it is definitely an important question to ask: what action will police take if you flout COVID rules this Christmas? And pretty much nothing, put simply, because bear in mind that the police are people too, and they would like to be able to enjoy their Christmas, and also that laws only mean anything if they are enforced. And, as the forces reveal, different approach to a festive crackdown, as a fifth of Britons say they will break rule of six. And this is from a poll, and of course from the Conservatives' majority win, landslide win, from Brexit happening, from Trump in 2016 as well. We can pretty much be sure that people will not respond to polls honestly if they think that they will get in trouble for it. And therefore, when 2/3 say they will definitely abide, and a fifth say that, hey, we're going to flout the rules because it means more, that you can pretty much guarantee that that is an inaccurate poll. Because Christmas is a very special time of year, and it always has been, especially in the UK, with novels like Charles Dickens putting forward the idea of a white Christmas and a family gathered together, that I don't care who the government is, I don't care what kind of thing that they wish to impose, but it will not get in the way of a family being together for Christmas. And there are concerns that there will be riots, similar to the 2011 riots in London, of course, and people trying to scoff at that and saying, no, that definitely won't happen, don't be silly, that was very different following a death instead of COVID restrictions, and the government doing that for the greater good. But with more information coming out about just how non-fatal that COVID is, and also with people admitting that, hey, if I'm an older person and I haven't got many Christmases left, I would rather take advantage of the moment that I have because the future is uncertain, and therefore I'd rather spend that Christmas with my family because holidays are very few and far between, and Christmas is the only one time of year where that holiday is guaranteed, and therefore they do wish to spend that time with their family, and they will take the risk that they will die from being infected because they haven't got a lot of time left, and family time is vitally important. And I know that there is a big push to try and put forward the importance of career and professional development, and that money is what is going to make life meaningful, but that does not take away from the people who are far more older and far more wise and consider their family to be the far more important thing. So as they go on to say, forces from across the UK have signalled different approaches to Christmas. They were asked they would look at keeping public in line with COVID rules. Large city-based constabularies lean towards warnings of enforcement, but other police forces and commissioners took a softer, more friendly plan. Basically just to say, are you aware of the rule of six, that you can't have more than 6 people unless they're in your support bubbles? And it came as a poll of 5,677 adults, showed nearly a fifth would break the rule, 19%. But as I say, these polls tend to be very inaccurate, especially considering the kind of people that would not answer the poll, or would say they do not know, or would just put the phone down, would not respond to the email, would not fill out the form, because they do not wish to be criminalised based on their response. And that is the core crux of the issue. We've seen examples in Wales, of course, where their non-essential items include towels, duvets, and baby clothes, and therefore people going to shops not wearing any clothes, or just underwear at least, so that they're decent, and ripping off the plastic coverings for clothes, the non-essential like baby clothes, where they will sell alcohol but not books, where they will sell canned food but not can openers. This kind of thing obviously is not well received by the public, and a government will only have power while they are endorsed by the public. The idea of a representative democracy is that you do not have to worry about what the politicians are doing, because you simply vote every few years, hopefully every 5 years, 4 or 5 years, to say, well, hey, this is the person that most follows what I believe, and therefore I trust them to make the best decision, and then you leave it alone for the next few years. But when the government wishes to be so heavy-handed, then of course you have to be more involved with the politics. And if they decide to sway so far from what they campaigned on, then it is understandable that people will have their disagreements with the people in power. And I cannot emphasize nearly enough just how important Christmas is to so many people, because it is the one holiday that everybody shares. Yes, of course, you will have summer holidays where you will intend to go abroad and catch some better sun and get a good tan and have a break from work and all that good stuff and have some time alone or just with your partner or maybe your family, that kind of thing. But Christmas time, that's national. That will not be taken away. That every year we do give a thought, give some time to think of the people that have to work throughout the Christmas period, the first responders, the emergency personnel that forfeit their time with their family in order to help out everybody else. And we are incredibly appreciative of the sacrifice that they make in order to help out the rest of the people that get up to shenanigans or need that help at the Christmas time, because, hey, illnesses, viruses, diseases do not stop just because it's the festive time of year. If anything, they increase because it's winter and people are stuck inside, recycling air and therefore are more ill. Of course. And therefore, we do give them our thoughts and are very grateful to the work that they continue to do. Different people each year, but nonetheless, it's vital work that they do, and we are very, very grateful for the work that they do. But trying to suggest that the government can enforce this lockdown, which was supposed to be for a couple of months, until we knew what was going on, and then that would be it. But to suggest that they could enforce it for getting on to 10 months at this point, almost a year, at that point it is incredibly unpopular. The economic lockdown and struggling to survive is one thing, and if you don't have money and you're struggling to pay rent, that is going to be an incredible test and difficulty in order to ensure that you have a place to stay. But on top of that, preventing you from having time with your family is definitely going to be a bridge too far. It is going to be the straw that broke the camel's back. And that is why there are concerns of violent revolts from this practice being put in place. However, as the National Police Chief Council comment said, we understand that this is a period where people want to be with their loved ones celebrating this holiday. We police against the regulations that are in law, and everybody has their part to play and help protect local communities and loved ones, and we are confident people would adhere to the rules and help us to reduce the risk of transmission. The police's approach remains to engage, explain, and encourage people to follow the rules in the first instance and enforce as a last resort where there are clear breach of the rules taking place. Which, as far as I'm concerned, essentially says if you're aware of the risks, if you're willing to take those risks, if you know that this might be your last Christmas because of the behaviour and the actions that you are taking, then go do it. If you're having gatherings of a dozen people or dozens of people, and there are parties, New Year's parties, then they are going to crack down on that because they think that, hey, you're not really putting yourself at risk because you're more likely to be young people, but you will be putting other people at risk, then they will crack down on that. But the thought, the absolute notion that you're going to be sitting down, enjoying your turkey, the one time of year when you're interacting with your family again, and then you're going to get a knock on the door, and the police are going to say, hey, yep, just checking how many people there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 people. Well, 2 of you are going to have to leave right now. Oh, you're just digging into your Christmas lunch? Well, that's a shame. You're going to have to go home, wherever that is. You need to leave right now, or you will be prosecuted and face a fine. That is highly unlikely that's going to happen. And if that happens, that is not going to be taken lightly by the vast majority of people. And it really does come back to the point that the government only has power while the people allow it to happen. And thankfully, the police understand that. And the police are put in a difficult position because they understand that they do have to enforce the law, but they also understand from the time on the ground and experience that it is an almost impossible task to do. But that's it for now. So, as always, let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think, well, yeah, sure, old people might not have many years left, but hey, why are they going to forfeit their few years left for just one more guaranteed year, whereby statistically it makes sense to hold out, have a lonely Christmas, and instead wait until the vaccine comes about, and therefore they can enjoy a few more Christmases with their family? Or do you think, well, hey, no, if you've told us the truth, and we believe that you have done so, then we should be able to make our own decisions. Even though there is a socialised health service with a national health service, and therefore everybody is included, regardless of their actions, and VAT on different products helps to try and equal out the cost depending on who is at higher risk, then yeah, we've made our decisions. We will be taking care of if necessary, but at the end of the day, it is our choice. We do have our freedom, and there was a reason for that. And you're not going to take that away. Either way, let me know down below. Always intrigued to hear what you guys have to say. But as always, like, comment, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. It really does help boost the YouTube algorithm. So I'm always grateful for all your engagement. And as always, until next time, have a good one.